So all that being said, we're seeing the parent becoming that primary educator, that center focus for the child in home-centered learning. The parent is really in charge, has that control, and parents love that. They love the fact that they get to be a parent, and a lot of parents are just frustrated because they see their kids come home, they're being manipulated, they're being taunted, they're being fed bad information, they're fed all sorts of garbage, and they have all sorts of complexity issues with their personality and with their identity and with their values and beliefs because of all these conflicts with other students at school. And sometimes it's conflicts with teachers and administrators too. And so the parents are becoming that center focused in their child's education, and they're becoming the primary educator in the home. And that's the way it should be. And it's a beautiful thing. They're becoming the primary educator in the child's life. Some families still send their kids off to different public schools for classes here or for sports or other extracurricular activities. And that's great. For every family, you get to customize it and make it what it should be. And that allows the parent to feel empowered and to feel like they're in control again of their child's destiny. And it's a beautiful thing. That's why so many parents are doing that. So let's talk about some other reasons why parents are loving this. So the public school system is really set up as a one-size-fits-all education model. I like to call it the conveyor belt model. That's what my mentor, Oliver DeMille, describes it as the conveyor belt method. But it's also the one-size-fits-all method. So you can try to adjust that hat as much as you can, but sometimes that hat just doesn't fit right, doesn't look right. It's annoying. It scratches your head the wrong way, whatever. And having that custom hat, that custom fit makes all the difference when putting that hat on. And so our public schools are the same way. At home in a homeschool program, you can customize it to your child. And a lot of times these children, they get lost in a system. These schools that are being built today are absolutely massive. They're huge. They're expensive. They're elaborate. When kids go to school, they can feel like they're going into a maze, and sometimes they feel like they're not going to come out. And when parents are going into these schools, sometimes they feel the same way too. They're not sure who to talk to, and they're not sure if they're going to get a good result out of talking to anyone about their child's education. And there can be so many factors with so many kids in these massive schools. And a student may be bullied, and it may be incredibly difficult to identify who the bully is because there's so many kids involved, and no one will say anything, and no one will admit anything, and everything's kept hush hush. There's just all sorts of challenges. That's just one. But these schools are huge, and when you're at home with your child, you get that one-on-one time, and man, it is real. It's tangible, and parents see a huge difference in connecting with their child, and they have all that time back too.